I've never bought any aircraft models from Fiji Airways because these aircraft just never really matched any of my fleets due to the geographic location of the airline. Last year, however, I managed to pull this aircraft model in one of Herpa's Halloween surprise boxes. But should I have wished for something else, or is this a banger? We find out right after the drop. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A330-300 of Fiji Airways. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and at the top of the box we have the Fiji Airways branding. Then on the back side of the box we have a lovely image of an aircraft, however of an A330-200, which is a little bit confusing when you're selling a 300. And to make matters worse, underneath that we then have a web link from Herpa Wings where we're supposed to get more information about the product, however that web link does not work anymore. And here she is, the Airbus A330-300 in the current livery of Fiji Airways. As I said, this aircraft model would never have found its way into my collection if I hadn't pulled it in one of the Herpa Wings Halloween surprise boxes. So I am quite curious to see what the model has to offer. Perhaps I missed out on something and I should have gone for it much earlier. So we start off with the tail section where we on the vertical stabilizer find this really lovely design of Fiji Airways. On the fuselage we then have the full registration code of the aircraft and the aircraft type specification, and at the very tail of the aircraft we have a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the Fiji Airways branding. We then also find the flag of the Republic of Fiji and the name of the aircraft. The cockpit section itself is rather lackluster. It only offers the bare minimum of detailing that you need so you can actually recognize this as being a plane. It only has the cockpit windows and the window wipers and could really have benefited from a little bit more passion from Herpa Wings for their product. And it's probably the same story when it comes to printed detailing on the engine nacelles, although it is being saved a little bit here by this lovely design coming from the livery of the airline, so Herpa really couldn't just leave that out. Other than that, we of course then also have the silver leading edge, and we have some really lovely physical detailing on the engines. I have to give Herpa that they are doing great with that. For example, here when we look into the engines from the front, where we very nicely can see the engine fan blades. But let us move on by taking a look at the wings, and starting off here with the top side, where we can see the different flaps, slats and spoilers have been carved out very nicely. We also have some different shades of grey for additional detailing, although I would have liked to see just a few more printed details here. I think that would have benefited the wing quite a lot. The underside of the wings, yeah, that's okay. Here we find the full registration code of the aircraft once more, and my personal highlight of course on the wings are the winglets with the addition of the Fiji branding that has been printed on. The landing gear is also a solid job from Herpa Wings. That is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their A330s, which is a good thing because that actually looks rather nice. The only thing of course I am missing are some printed details that Herpa really should start adding as a standard. And then last but not least, we also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A330-300 in the current livery of Fiji Airways from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Honestly speaking, I think this aircraft model actually highlights many of the problems Herpa has. But let me elaborate. Because the physical detailing of the model is great, Herpa is doing well, and I really do like the mold. They are really bang on with that. The print itself is also good, but of course is lacking so many details, and that's the point. Because as a Eurocentric collector that I am, this model has to offer something exceptional for me to ever be interested in it. And it doesn't. And I would imagine it's the same way the other way around. If you are from Fiji, why would you ever buy any aircraft models from Europe? Because they don't match your fleet and they don't offer anything other than just being a very basic standard model from Herpa Wings. And sure, the livery is looking spectacular, but it's just not enough for me to care about this aircraft model and to pay the price that Herpa wants me to pay for it. And then of course it also doesn't help when Herpa puts the wrong image on their box, and if they didn't have an image of an A330-300, then why not just put a rendition on the box? It's not that difficult. So yeah, this might be an aircraft that is worth having in one's collection, it's just not the one for me. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.